of 2023. And again, they call me the voice of Delco. There we are, live from our studios off of 5th Street in Chester, right across the street from the Chester Post Office. Our special guests tonight from the Chester High Lady Clippers. Head coach Marvin Boo Dukes. Also, some great, young, tremendous players. Freshman point guard, number 4, Imani Dorsey. Raise your hand, Imani. There she is. All right. Now, you have to be careful with that screen up there because it's a delay. I'm not sure how many seconds it is, but it's a delay, and you have to have that sometimes on live television. Okay, Imani, there you go. Next up, number 11 in the middle here. She is a junior, and she can shoot the lights out. 15 points a game. Shine Hall. There's Shine, and she is shining this year. And number 20, she is a super sophomore, point guard, power forward, 12.4 points a game, 13 rebounds a game. Jamaya Mohammed. There you go. Coach Dukes, everybody sees him all the way to my right, the humble one. As for Imani, doing a great job. We mentioned 12.6 points a game, 6 rebounds, 3.4 assists a game, also 3.4 steals a game. 6-8 this year, tough schedule. Boo, you coached the program from 2008 to 2015, 8 seasons. Great job, and it's not easy because you gotta keep the kids in our school. Right. You gotta watch it. I love the private schools and everything. They do a great job, but you want to keep your kids home. And I say this to all the coaches. So, and then you left, and now you're back your second or third year?
Second year.
Second year. All right. So let's talk about this year's team. I've seen them on TV a few times. Very impressive. And what has it taken to get them to play at this level right now? And I know there's a lot of room for improvement.
Things that we as coaches have tried to instill in the ladies is hard work, dedication, consistency, things that will not help you immediately but help you in the long term. And as a result of the rough start, you start to see some of the fruits of the labor that we put in, being committed, being there. These 3 young ladies that you have before you are ones that have been committed to the program. No fault of the other young ladies, but I told them some people may make the cut. We didn't cut anybody, but things just happened that they kind of fell off. But we hope to re-engage in them next year if they have years of eligibility left going to the next year. But right now, it just took a minute, but the motor's running, and we hope it runs for as long as we can.
As for you, Coach, 1987 grad of Chester High, and you played on the boys basketball team. Did you let her at least 2 years? I know that. Did you play on the 84-85 team also?
84-85.
Okay, 84-85, then 86.
Yeah.
You had Coach Cliff Wilson,
yes.
And then Alonzo came in 85-86. So you saw and you were involved with some unbelievable games.
Right.
I got the pictures to prove it, as you very well know. And you played against the Coatesvilles, the Billy Owens, the Carlisle, so you have a wealth of knowledge. How did you get into basketball yourself? I wanted a little bit of attention to you.
As a player?
Let's get into as a player, and how'd you get the nickname Boo?
That's my mom. That's a mom's nickname that only a mom can give. But coming up, some of my background has to do with me growing up in the Wimpin Projects, Chester Boys and Girls Club, where basketball was everything. Got a chance to play, and we always like to say, as far as Chester, Wimpin Projects breeded a lot of good basketball players. Before me and after me, played with some greats like Keith Taylor, the Zane Shaws, Jamar Shaws, and to name a few. But at the end of the day, Boys and Girls Club is where a lot of our skills came from, when we weren't playing in the Wimpin Projects.
So you grew up right across the street from where my mom grew up.
Absolutely.
Uncle Joe.
Absolutely.
My grandfather, you probably remember Max, my grandfather,
My favorite
Elman's Variety Store.
Yeah,
So Uncle Joe.
Store.
And he, right down the street, Mays Water Ice. It's
Right.
3rd and Parker. It's not far from here, obviously. So, yeah, just unbelievable. They did a great job over the years at the William Penn homes.
Yes.
rebuilding, and they look pretty nice. So anyway, rich history. How do you teach? They're so young, the kids. How do you try to tell them the rich history of Chester boys and girls basketball going back to the 70s and then the incredible teams with, of course, Fredia, the Cheetah Gibbs?
Absolutely. She's one of the greatest that ever played at Chester High School.
Yes.
But as far as today's student athletes, try to instill in the history, which is history that they probably can't relate to, but I surrounded myself, my coaching staff, 90% of my coaching staff were former players of mine, all but one. But at the same time, that assistant coach, Tiffany Richardson, was one who was a head coach herself. But going back to my first stint, I handpicked Charlene Thomas. I handpicked, Tiffany Richardson because I knew of their pedigree as far as playing at Chester High School. And Charlene Thomas herself was a great ball player herself, went on to play at Seton Hall, had a phenomenal career there. Second stint, again, I reached back into the books and, went after one of my assistant coaches, Tanisha Kane, 1,000-point scorer herself, hard worker. I went and grabbed, Bailey Cohen, who was another former player of mine, Joria Clark, another lady clipper.
Remember her announce, I'll never forget the trip when you took for a fundraiser up to Lewistown, which is now Mifflin County High School, the merger. So that was 2000. I'll never forget it. It was January 2011. Right. So I remember Joria Clark, and people are so impressed.
One other, it's a few others. Shakira Showell, all former players of mine that came through, put on that orange and black, went on to do some great things beyond high school, even down to the middle school. Bailey Cohen, as I stated, she's my middle school coach. Joria Clark is her assistant. Janera Handy's down there helping out. So just trying to get them to be involved with young ladies who've been through what they're trying to get to. And they speak on themselves. Just this past weekend, we had a phenomenal game against Executive Charter. After the game, one of my former point guards who stuck around was the reason why I got involved with Chester High School girls basketball, Kristen Maya. She stuck around and she talked to the young ladies for a bit. And it's always good, we always often talk about our former players because to let them know that, hey, yes, you're here at Chester High School. Yes, it has a rich history, but you'll learn more about Chester High when you leave because now you become an alumni. And we often ask our alumni to come back and have conversation with the young ladies to give them their history.
Chester Biddy League, it all starts pretty much there. Ralph Dorsey wants to give Chester Biddy League a shout. I got the shirt on, and his daughter is Imani down there, so awesome. I think you look like your mom. Well, Ralph's a good-looking guy, too. So anyway, Chester Biddy League.
Chester Biddy, as a product of Chester Biddy myself, going back some time before these young ladies were even thought of, hone the game at Chester Biddy. Played against some great ball players in Chester Biddy, not just locally but nationally. I wish every child in Chester that came through basketball-wise had the opportunity to play in Chester Biddy because what Chester Biddy did for me when I played, it allowed us to be mentally tough. Every day was a good day. Every day was a good basketball game. Some of my closest friends, the Keith Taylors and Anthony Fox Cooper, who was deceased, Clarence Armstrong, we all came through Chester Biddy. Me and Clarence was, backcourt mates, coming through Chester Biddy.
Amazing.
Went on to play against each other in Chester High School. So it's a lot of history over there in Chester Biddy. I go back and I assign referees at Chester Biddy. Sort of a give back, again, just to give in the league itself. I know what the league has done for thousands of players, not just from Chester, but and beyond. They all come through to get that skill and to hone their skills, on that basketball court, wherever they may be playing at. So
you are a PIAA official.
Absolutely.
Also. All right, can't do it.
I don't do any reffing now, but I help out, in the leagues, and my reffing days are kind of behind me in terms of that. But I'm still a part of the game, helping out the neighborhood to help the league be as successful as they want to.
Including her uncle. I got a nice picture. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, he's all over the place.
Right.
All over. Now I made a Facebook post promote the show tonight, and it blew up, man. And people are making comments, and I can't see any question. Can you guys see better than me, or can you see the questions they're asking?
You're not really asking any questions.
Okay, but anyway, thank you. No complaints though yet. No complaints though yet. CMPRadio.net, Dave Berman, Delco Sports 360. All right, we're going to talk to the ball players right now. First of all, Imani Dorsey, and you look like a senior out there. You're a freshman, but you look like a senior. So get into that microphone right now. And is this your first time on the TV, radio?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so tell us about your experience so far this year. You're so calm. It probably helps playing in the Chester Biddy League.
Yeah, I like playing on this team. It's like fun to play with them. And even though it's my first year, I feel like I've been on this team like a couple of years.
Yeah, I've been hearing all about it. What have you been doing to improve your skills? I know every day you have to work on your game.
I've been like working on plays with them and all type of stuff. Yeah.
You're a team player.
Yes.
That's another thing. Very versatile, do a lot of different things, and the teamwork I've seen has been incredible. Again, you're playing against some tough, grizzled teams. Coach Dukes, that the girls have been playing maybe longer, more senior laden teams you've played, but the key is to the fundamentals. You want to go back to the fundamentals, just catching the ball, footwork, knowing how to hang onto the ball, try to close out a game like the other day was close. The foul shots, everybody has to work on the foul shots. So you guys, as a team, you guys are shooting 50%. You get fouled a lot, and foul shots, as you know, they win and lose games. Besides, I'm trying to think what's more important. Probably rebound, no rebounds, no rings, but the free throw shooting.
Definitely is something that we stress from day one. Yes, we would like to be a lot higher shooting free throw percentage, but guess what? I said we're going to keep fighting, scratching and clawing, and that, I'll contribute a lot of that to a young program. We have a freshman point guard, as you duly noted, going to make the freshman mistakes and them bumps and them bruises, but the learning experience that you get from it is going to be phenomenal. We stress foul shooting every single day of practice. Not to the point of shooting to go home, but just about, because those are the vital points of the game where if you can make foul shots, team don't foul you as much. And if you do, you make them pay. So, we're getting better at that. I see it in practice, not to where we would want it to be right now, but as long as we continue to make progress, I tell the young ladies, you didn't learn the game overnight, so you're not going to get everything overnight. So just keep grinding, coming in, being as committed as we like you to be in the beginning, as we said in the beginning, and things will work out for the better.
You mentioned your staff. Who is your entire staff?
My entire staff, again, as I said earlier, consists of Tanisha Kane, graduate of Chester High School. Shakira Showells, graduate of Chester High School. All my coaches are graduates of Chester High School, put on the orange and black at some point in their careers. Tiffany Richardson, Joria Clark, Belly Cohen, Janera Handy. And again, I found it easy to reach back and talk to some of them young ladies to come in and give back, just as it was done for them. Even my first stint being at Chester High School, I had the pleasure of having folks who are orange and black. We like to say in practice, Lady Clippers and family, but the one thing that they're learning is that the history that comes with playing Chester High School basketball, boys or girls, but I'll say Chester High School basketball, girls basketball, it allows you a certain responsibility to go out there and play hard. We just started to talk about, in practices and in games, play like you're from the city. Play with that heart. Play with some consistency. Play with effort. And we leave it on the floor. I give them little slogans often, but, one of my biggest that they haven't quite grasped yet was MTXE, which is mental toughness, extra effort. And that's something that I learned as a kid because you had to be mentally tough. You had to be strong. You had to be stern. You had to play your way out of a bunch of situations. Whether we playing in Chester, we playing in Delaware, wherever we went, to have that name on the front of your shirt, teams are going to come play hard. And I tell them that every single day. Doesn't matter who we're playing. They're going to play their hardest because of what you have on your shirt.
Coach Dukes, who does your stats? Max Preps, folks. Complete roster, complete stats, up to date, and every high school should do this. Just saying.
I contribute that to Coach Tiffany Richardson.
Oh, yeah.
She's definitely a valuable asset to our program behind the scenes. She doesn't even like to be in the front, but behind the scenes, she keeps us right. She keeps us going. Probably one of our loudest coaches in terms of her wanting the young ladies to do well, and all of them have bought into that philosophy. But definitely Tiffany Richardson, she keeps us going. She keeps us up to date. And I'm talking about like no soon's the game over. Some of them stats are already there, ready to go.
It's awesome. Right. You got to keep these forever because down the road, and the stuff has been lost over the year. Boys, girls, other high schools. A lot of schools don't do it. You know what I mean? So, all right, now we're going to go to number 11 in the middle here. Shine, Shine Hall, 15 points a game, a junior, and a very rewarding year for you. At the first couple of years, you had took the losses. You're still 6-8 this year. You want to have more wins, but tell us about your experience your junior year, Shine Hall.
I feel like my experience for my junior year is going pretty well. I know the season's about to end in a couple more games, and I feel like, I got better since last year, and I feel like it's because I've been coming to workouts, practice, that will help me get better, and the coaches that provided interest in me getting better. So shout out to them and pushing me to get better at every workout, at every practice, and that's how I really did it.
You are a tremendous outside shooter. How did you become such a great shooter?
Well, I look up to one of my favorite basketball players, which is Stephen Curry. I really look up to him.
Stephon.
Stephon Curry.
Stephon Curry?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Because you got the brother, too. So. All right.
Yeah.
Seth, who played for the Sixers. But, yeah.
No, the one that played on the Warriors.
Yeah, right. Steph, the Golden State Warrior Curry. Okay, so I know because I'm friends with, actually, I worked in radio in Harrisonburg, Virginia, which is the home area back in the day of their dad, Del Curry. So, all right. So, yeah, Golden State. He's got Mr. Curry for Golden State has a lot of, at least 3 NBA championship rings. So, and you can see the fight every game. He hates to lose.
Yeah, I don't really know how I got my shooting from or where I learned to shoot, but all I know is when I started playing basketball, I just was a good shooter. But when I started playing, I didn't have the form that I have now, so I had to work to be a better shooter, and that's what I did. Every time I played basketball, I would play basketball at the Boys and Girls Club. I would go there every day, work on my form. I would play with a whole lot of boys, just play 5-on-5. And I just grew up playing basketball and working out at the Boys and Girls Club, and that's how I got to where I'm at right now.
That's awesome. That's awesome stuff, May. Very well. All right, now the Moses, the girls are too young to remember Moses Malone, but the last time the 76ers won an NBA championship was 1983, and they had a guy who got rebound after rebound after rebound named Moses Malone. They had Dr. J on that team, too. You probably heard of him. All right, so rebounds, no rings. Pat Riley of the Lakers. I know I'm old school, but it feeds into today. I love the name, Maya Mohammed, 13 rebounds a game, 10th grader, 12.4 points a game. Talk about what has made you the player you are today.
What has made me the player that I am?
Yes, the player you are today. You can tell like it is.
I just worked hard every day, come to practice, be committed, and I just do what I do.
And that's what rebounding is.
Yeah.
You have to work, you have to scratch, you have to claw, you got to, rebounds are a key. And I can't believe she's only a sophomore, Boo. It's unbelievable. Maybe you want to tell more about what makes her so effective.
I will say, going back to day one of getting back involved in the program, saw something in Jemai, we call him Muhammad, saw something in Muhammad that kind of stuck out above a lot of athletes. Is just her commitment. She shows the skill set probably wasn't where she would like for it to be, but she never stopped working. One of my, most consistent players. We felt the need to reward her as a freshman last year making her a captain on our basketball team. And that was due to her commitment, her dedication. Spring and summertime where we're in the gym, never missed a day. Never, ever missed a day. I never had to worry about her not being there. She always was around the gym and looking to get better. You know, Saints, even now, even till, you know, coming into this year, you know, her commitment was there. And that's, again, the things that's going to make us grow is the thing that she leads by example. Not a huge talker, but, you know, I never had to worry about her not being in the gym when we needed to be in the gym.
How tall? How tall are you?
Like 5'6".
5'6", okay. A lot of it's just boxing out, though. It's fundamental stuff, right?
Yes.
That's what it is. Now, do you play against the guys, too, you know, the boys, and who pushes you around underneath the basket?
It was just neighborhood things. Used to play in the fairgrounds every day.
Nobody from the current team? You don't want to?
Oh, like from our team?
Yeah, the Chester High boys.
Oh, nah.
Well, thank you, Dom. You don't have to go. Well, Dom Toy, yeah, I mean, he can show. And those back to the real quick on the Chester High boys team. Those young guys are coming on. Jerry Young. I mean, it's so tough what they had to go through, and the pressure's on these guys, you know, all year, and they're trying their best.
They hear, the boys basketball program hears so much about the history and playing with that Sea Pride. I believe they will get it. I believe they'll turn it around. I mean, they're there. You know, not the Chester High team of past, but guess what? You never know what you're going to have coming in anyway, you know, and Coach Keith Taylor and his staff is, you know, doing a phenomenal job trying to keep them engaged and re-engage them, you know, not just on history, but playing with what you have on your chest from the beginning.
Big on the Mar.
Oh, absolutely.
Penwood for them.
Absolutely.
You know, Penwood beat him, broke the long streak. You play, obviously, Penwood yourself, okay, at the Fred Pickett Gym. Janiyah, what's it like playing at the Clip Joint? That's got to be a big thrill for you, man. The noise, the cheerleaders, the fans really into it. I mean, what do you think of playing in that gym?
It's fun. It's something to live for. You know, just
2 more years to go.
yeah.
Pretty soon the colleges are going to be, you know, I mean, look, girls are going to eventually.
Get better. Continue to work, get better. And again, you know, and I tell them, you know, even in the spring, I tell them, it doesn't matter if you're a freshman, sophomore, junior, or senior. If you're on someone's radar, they're going to come. They're going to come. Again, yes, we would like to have been way further along than what we are, but guess what? I always say the work that we put in every day, we're going to get there. We're going to get there.
You're 6-8, so you have at least 8 more games to go, I believe, to get to 22.
22, yeah.
Yeah, that's
So
8.
I think we're 7 away, hopefully to pick up the 22nd game. Had a couple schools back out, nothing major, but
Right.
we have been working hard behind the scenes. Our AD, Coach Bell, Tiffany Richardson, and myself have been working hard to find those games and, you know, help us balance out to a 22-game season. You know, major shout out to Coach Bell. You know, I like the role he's allowed our coaches to play and developing the young ladies. He's very supportive, you know, of all sports, but he's very supportive of the program, giving us the confidence that we need to help the ladies get to where they need to get to.
Great public address announcer. I know when you score and you're at the line, it's Peach Howard. He's one of the best, man. He gets you going there. Imani I mean, you know, he has his own style, but yeah, Shine Hall and Jemiah Muhammad. All right, can I throw out all the names of the team, the members of the team? Okay, real quick, and you can give me your thoughts. Number 1, I'm going to try to pronounce the name correctly here. Zaniyah Granberry.
You did a great job on that.
Okay, any relation to Richard, the Granberry boys?
I'm not 100% sure.
She's a junior.
Junior guard, probably the scrappiest thing we've had in a long time. Doesn't mind doing all the dirty work. You know, I ask her, I put her on the team's best player on the regular, you know, but I know she's going to give me that energy, you know, and I always say, hey, you play enough defense, reward yourself on the other end. But again, probably one of the hardest workers I have in the program.
Love it. Number 2, Talia Smith.
Talia Smith, you know, she's a senior, currently not with us as we speak. But again, we did have to do some restructuring of our program. She started off, she was a 2-year, you know, varsity player with me. She's focusing more on trying to be a high school graduate this year. She's focusing on her academics.
Number 10, it is, the last name's Freisen.
Sky Fresh.
Sky Freisen.
She's no longer with us.
Okay.
She's another senior. Was hoping to get her going this year. Life's obstacles, allow her another one to work on her being a senior, working on some future endeavors.
Number 12, Tori Womack.
Tori Womack.
Freshman.
Freshman. She was with us. So that, with the roster you have, I can tell you, it's probably is depleted as we speak.
Okay,
But again,
gotcha.
These are young ladies who we have looked to bring into the program, was fighting, scratching, and clawing to be with us. Made some choices. She decided to step away for the moment.
Yeah, I just got this today.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay. All right, well, let me look at all right, how about number 15, Asia Ramsey?
Asia Ramsey's another. By all means, definitely go through that.
Oh, okay.
These are ladies who we felt like that would have helped us tremendously in the program. No discredit to them. These are young ladies who they felt like they were going to do, and they just opted not to.
All right, let's go. Another freshman, number 23, and it's she's played 13 games, so that she's there. Okay. Zayana Clark.
Absolutely.
All right, and she's a ninth grader.
Zay, we call her Zay. Zay's a lefty, lefty ball handler after my own heart. She's up and coming. Was thrust in a role that I don't think she was quite ready to do as we speak, but she's learning to adjust. Scoring might not be her thing, but I'll tell you, as her upside, as she's going to continue to get better, we're looking for some great things out of her over the next 2-3 years.
4.3 rebounds a game.
So that's why I said, scoring might not be her thing.
Go.
She does. She gives me what she can.
Right.
Sometimes I'm hard on all my players, but I tell her, listen, I have confidence in you. Just come through. Just come on. But when that light click on, that light, she's gonna be a special one.
Okay, I don't want to miss anybody, so I'm gonna. This young lady played 5 games at least. Amira Smith.
She's with us. Okay. Amira's first year out.
Amira, okay.
Yeah, Amira Smith. First year out, she came to me in the beginning. She said she wanted to play, and I said, well, I'll give you an opportunity. I'm not going to turn anybody away. Amira Smith is and I'm going to be honest with you. Told me, she said, I don't have a lot of skill. I said, well, don't discredit yourself. The things that you can possibly bring to the program, you don't know. And what she brings, she's very, very, I give her the same type of credit as I would give Z Granberry. Hard worker on D. Hard worker. She works hard every day, whether we run sprints, whatever drills that we're doing, she's always there. Always there. Minutes aren't there for her, but she doesn't stop coming.
But again, she 1.4 rebounds a game. So
she's there.
So
she's working.
Yeah.
She's working.
Absolutely. Love rebounding. For number 32, and she's played 1 game, it is Tamira Showell.
Tamira Showell just re-engaging herself back into the program. She's with us early, just got back, into the fold, stepped away for a minute, but again, asked me, once she got her things together, would she be able to come back? And I said, by all means. We're in a rebuilding stage of the program. Looking forward to her to get some time under her belt, in the off season to help her become a much better student athlete.
So then we have, let's see here, number 40, Shakia Summers, freshman.
Freshman, again, with our restructuring process, she was with us trying to take the slow road to getting her, involved. Late bloomer. I'm gonna say a late bloomer by just her standards. She didn't think that she was quite ready, and I said, hey, you never know how much you can do until you do.
Did I mention Tamira Showell?
You did.
Kanaya York.
Kanaya. She's another senior. Transitioning, to becoming a full-time senior, looking to graduate high school. Returning player from the year before, was looking for her to stick around, stick it out, and keep fighting and playing. Again, we're at the last quarter of our season. So, we kind of take it day by day.
She's only played 3 games so far, number 42, Dasani White. But she has some rebounds, 2.3 average a game.
Dasani White is a freshman, incoming freshman. Sonny's about 6 foot. 6'1". I don't think she's no taller than 6'1". Upside is tremendous. Never, I found her in the building, beginning of the school year. And it was a funny story. When I first seen her, I actually walked up on her talking to her counselor, and I thought she was a senior. I said, "What grade are you?" And she said, "I'm a whole freshman." And I looked up at her and I said, "Hey, you ever played basketball before?" She said, "No." I said, "Do you want to?" She said, "I'll try it." So, again, she's probably gaining the most experience from any of the young ladies in the program because her skill set is not there, but she's learning the dedication part, the commitment part. And I told her, as well as her parents, that she might not be ready until next year. But the work that she's going to get, because she's never ever touched a basketball until, when we started, working out in October. She's never there, but she's learning to be there, and she's starting to get the part of the game I think people struggle with the most, and that's the emotional part. Because she wants to play, she wants to get better, she wants to do some things, and I tell her every day, just keep coming, do whatever you can do well.
Back to Imani Dorsey. Okay, what's it? Any added pressure with Mr. Chester Biddy, Ralph as your dad? Or I would imagine he's very, very supportive of you because he told me all about her. Yeah, keep an eye on her, blah blah blah. But what's it like? I know mom too, great lady. But talk about dad and Chester Biddy.
Yeah, they put pressure on me to do good, so they make me push me to do better. And I like how they're pressuring me to do better as their daughter. And
there you go. Now he used to be a barber. Did you know that?
yes, I did.
Yes. She has to watch that feature from 1998 with Jeremy Treatment on the Chester boys team, and they went into the barber shop and Ralph. I call him Ralph. We call him Rove or what? There you go. But he's unbelievable. Boo. I mean, the guy is he's a tireless worker, like they all are over there.
He has the one focus, which makes his work great, and that's on kids. He doesn't, look for the accolades and whatnot. He's a product. We were close growing up. Been on it since we were kids, and he grabbed that nurturing feel for wanting to help. And once he got involved with Chester Biddy, I think it just became second nature to him to want to help the kids. And he'll tell you in a minute, man, I'm about the kids, I'm about the kids. And that's where the most of his work comes in at.
Well, Imani, we have a big game tomorrow night. It's going to be at the Clip Joint. It's Penwood. It's a league game. You guys are 2-2 in the league. And I saw some highlights of Penwood. They carry their games. And Academy Park right now is Ron Bright, undefeated. Okay. So your thoughts, how'd it go the first game? I should have maybe done more research, but I know you.
Oh, no. The first game, we played them on their floor. Tough battle.
The shoebox, yeah?
Yeah, tough battle. Two of the young ladies, Sean and Jemiah, had the experience of playing in that gym, in that hostile environment.
That's old school,
which
man.
To me, is probably one of the better environments because everything is right there.
Close.
The floor, you don't have much room in the gym itself. So if it ever was a packed gym, you would think it was 2,000 people in there.
Exactly.
But the environment is one, for the young ladies to experience. The first game we played them, probably one of our worst foul shooting games ever. But I'll tell you, it was a great game, great contest. They got me by 3, on their floor, which again, valuable experience that the young ladies learn, being in that environment where you got to play. You have to come in every night and play, so we get to return the favor tomorrow.
Okay, Imani, again, being a freshman, this is all new to you. I know 14 games into the year, so what are you going to do different tomorrow? What do you think it's going to take for Chester, you guys, to win that game at home against Penwood? What JV at what time?
It's just one game.
Oh, what time's?
Having to cut back. That's a 6:30 time.
6:30 tip-off at the Clip Joint. All right, so let's talk about tomorrow night's game and how we're going to win it.
We're going to push ourselves to do better, play better on defense and offense, run our plays. And, run our plays.
You play zone, you mix it up, zone, man-to-man?
Man and
Okay. Well, most basketball players want to play man-to-man. You just, But he got these teams that are just, you have to play to what kind of athletes you have. And, have you had to play against a lot of zone this year?
Yes. I'll say.
You can get him out of the zone if you keep making shots.
Yeah. I'll say for the large majority of our 14 games, it was teams playing zone. But again, you have to play the game. You have to
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You have to execute against a man or execute against a zone. And again, having Monty being a freshman point guard, I went from a freshman point guard to a freshman point guard 2 years in a row. Where you see Jemiah's stats, which tells you. I often say you're a basketball player. Number one. Last year at the helm, my first year back on, Jemiah was my point guard. Still a hard worker. Coming into this season, I said, okay, I was awarded, the ability to take, Jemiah off the ball, coming in with Imani at the point. And to today, she's been doing a phenomenal job, and I'll tell you, she'll tell you, she might not say it on the air, but I'm extremely, extremely hard on my point guards because that's what carries us. Do I expect the mistakes to come? Absolutely. Absolutely.
How's the officiating been this year?
Honesty, and I'll be honest, it's been fair. It's been very fair.
Right.
I'm never one, speaking as an official. I'm never going to say, oh, they doing this, they doing that. Nah, we still have to play, and we have been learning to play through. And one of the key points and the finer points to any basketball game is what you just spoke on. You make foul shots. Hey, it's obvious they making calls. They putting us on the line.
Yeah, right, they are.
but
right.
No. As far as the officiating in the Del Val and in the surrounding area, it's been pretty good.
Yeah, I love the guys. I love the guys. Just felt like throwing
at
out
all about the officiating, the crews that we get. Most of them I know.
Well, being an official, I had to ask you, I had to ask you that question. I wanted to ask you.
So.
But so Amani tomorrow night. Oh, who's the best player you've played against this year, your freshman year? The toughest opponent. You played some good teams.
Yeah, whether it's a team or whether it's a player. If you don't know the player, what team had the probably
Yeah,
the
it
best
probably
player?
was Academy Park. Yeah, they're pretty good.
Academy Park, okay. Had Ron Bright on the show this summer, him and Todd. Yeah, he's doing his thing. All right, now we're going to go to Shine Hall. What a great first name. 15 points again. 15-point average game. All right, tomorrow night against Penwood. What do you think?
I think the way that we are going to win this game, if we learn from our mistakes from the game that we played. From today, we watch our film from the game, and I feel like that everybody should have took in what they did wrong and what they did right, and feel like and play how they didn't play, like make their playing better and go hard, play defense, and yeah, just learn from your mistakes.
There you go, and you're learning too. We need you tomorrow night, man. We got to get you on the boards here. Jemiah Muhammad. There was a great rebounder for Chester with the last name of Muhammad back in the day. And it's hard to believe it's been over 30 years. He won a state championship as a sophomore. Hassan Muhammad. And did you ever hear about him?
No.
Okay. But he was his son actually went to Lower Merion, and he was a point guard when they beat Ronde in 2000. Well, we beat him in 2012 state championship game. Jaquan Johnson. I have to give Jaquan, great kid, great guy right now. All right, so tomorrow night, what do you think? How many rebounds did you get the first game against Penwood? Do you remember?
No.
All right, but what are you going to be doing tomorrow to pull out this victory?
I'm going to get rebounds, help my team stay motivated, don't get in my own head, make my foul shots so we can take the early lead.
How do you deal with the trash talking? Do you have kids that are out there? And I haven't noticed it. It's hard when you're watching the game on the TV, but and
sometimes I'll tell you, Dave. I don't.
Do the girls talk trash as much as the boys?
They do. They do.
Really?
And I'll tell you. I don't promote it, but sometimes I wish they did. But because again, we promote sportsmanship, but the game has evolved such that as long as they keep it within the 94 feet of the floor, I'm okay with it. Let me know you there. But we have such a young we have such a young team that I think they forget that they can do that on the floor. But again, being student athletes and being basketball players, it's going to come.
Right.
People are going to talk, and like I tell them, wherever you go, whether you're at Interboro, whether you're at Chi, whether you're at Penwood, whether you're at AP, coming in on your floor, but coming into that gym, you have a target. I'm talking about a positive target because they want to beat you.
The girl, the Penn Crest game was tough. That's tough to win in that gym for some reason. I don't know what it is. And they have a tremendous program. So the girls, you learn from that loss.
Yeah, definitely. I think it was a great learning experience for the young ladies because I think a lot of it was, in my opinion, underestimated. We played them in the fall league, and you've seen a team in the fall league, and they're very well coached. Very well coached. They run a great system. They run a system that's conducive for them. And on their floor, hey, they're going to do some things. So, all we ask is just you keep playing, play to the buzzer. Hey, and if you're doing the things, I heard one of the best quotes, I think the other day, from Carol Lawson, who's Duke's head coach. If everybody was supposed to win, both teams would end up winning. But the thing that she strives for the most is, again, that word consistency, that word commitment. If everybody prepared, and I think she went on to say that if everyone prepared themselves the way they're supposed to, we both will be winners. But hey, sometimes a loss is not a loss, but it's also a win moving forward. And like I told my players, at the end of December, going into January, we start league play, and you start to get some of that momentum back. You start playing against some teams and non-league. And as a result, you see, we start to turn it around a little bit. The one thing we never did was give up. We still, every single day, we expect them, and I'll tell you, I wish we had enough space tonight for Coach Tanisha Kane to be here. You talk about one of the most talkative coaches because she coached with a passion. She coached the way she played.
When did she graduate?
I want to say 2005, 6, or 7.
Around the mid-2000s.
She played with the DeWanna Mosleys, Denisha Salmons, and Christian Myers. But I talk about her the most probably in my practice because she was the easiest for me. I was an assistant coach when she was around, but I spent a lot of time with her, on the basketball court. She's one of the easiest players I ever had to coach because you never had to coach her heart. She played with a passion. She talked with a passion. And you talking about trash talking. She tell them every day in practice, if I played with y'all, I average 30, because of how hard she played, as a player. And still, I think I'm not going to name at the table right now, but somebody about 0-10 playing her one-on-one, at the end of practice. I'm not going to say no names, but, I'll let them, if they decide to speak on, they're about 0-10 playing her one-on-one at the end of practice every day.
So these three starters right here, okay, Imani to the right, Shine in the middle, and Jemiah. And who are the other two starters, or is that you mix it up?
I try to, I would love to mix it up. I have Z Granberry, Zanai Granberry, and Zayon Clark. That rounds off my starting five.
How many kids? How many altogether now on the roster?
I'm pushing 8 to 9.
Okay,
on the roster, we have one still up in the air, but hey, I tell them if we only had 6, guess what? We play 5 at a time.
Who's your Ken Santello? Does he do some of your games? Does he mix it up with the boys? A trainer?
Yeah, he's our trainer. He's a trainer in the gym. He's floating between boys and girls basketball.
Yeah, he's unbelievable, man. He's been
around a long time.
Yeah, almost 30 years.
Yeah, he's been around a long
athletic trainer. So you can follow the Lady Clippers of Chester High girls basketball. Go to Max Preps and search Chester High Lady Clippers. Has all the stats. It's unbelievable. It's really broken down. Boo. It's incredible. Like a college.
Yeah, like I said, shout out to Coach Tiffany Richardson because she is a master at that. And again, even sharing her experiences as a former high school basketball coach. So she came in with a ton of experience on my first go around, even now. So when She's supposed to be over there keeping stats, and I think she's out there shouting like she's on the sideline, which
Right.
is, again, that's just her passion for the young ladies. You know, she jumps out there in practice and puts on her sneakers and whatnot, and she's running around, you know, participating in practice like she's still there. But that's just that's our commitment that we like to, you know, preach about, you know, daily, that whether it's the assistant coach, whether it's the last person that, you know, gets the least playing time, we all play a part. And we all play a part in the short success that we've had, you know, going into the second half of our season.
Imani, you love the clip joint. That's your favorite your home gym. What's your favorite place to play so far on the road?
Like the weight gym.
The shoebox, Penwood?
No, no.
Didn't like it there.
It probably was Academy Park Gym because it was like.
Well, they have a nice gym.
I like
I've been
the
out
gym.
some of their games. There's a lot of history there. A lot of history. Okay, Shine.
My favorite place to play at was probably Penwood. I like
The
I like
atmosphere.
how like the crowd is.
Oh, they're
loud.
right on
Like,
you.
yeah,
I mean, you know, they're
yeah.
you know.
I be hearing them while I be playing. I just like I like playing on their floor.
Jemiah.
Probably Penwood. Yeah, too.
I was going to ask her who's your favorite Chester Clipper boys player, but all of them. So I wish them the good luck tomorrow, man. It's a big game. I made a big post about it tomorrow.
It's a huge game on both sides because it has a lot of implications as far as where you may land.
You don't want to lose them twice in a year, but they've taken some lumps, Penwood, lately. I saw Garnet Valley beat them after losing to Harriton, and I saw another loss at home. Oh, well, Chichester beat them. And Chester beat, you know, the Chester High boys have beaten Chichester in the last 37 years, 73 straight games. They have not lost to Chi. Did you guys know that? Okay, if you look at Dave Berman's Facebook, I have the history right there. And who was the star player who scored 27 points against Chester? And it was your senior year. Oh, you remember the game? It's your boy, Clarence Armstrong. Yeah. So that's how long that's been. So Chester wants to keep. They get the Clippers boys. They can win the Del Val. I want them to get into the playoffs. They got that East Side New Jersey team. That's going to be tough. Yeah. And then you know, still Academy Park's getting better. Interbros, you know, they're trying.
Oftentimes at the end of our practices, I like to sit around and unwind a little bit before I leave. And a lot of it is just to, you know, watch the boys prep, how they prep beforehand. And the most valuable part before I even take off is, you know, when coaches or the coaches are talking to the players. You know, we all kind of adapted this slogan called toenails. You know, we got that. We all of us do it. We got it from Alonzo Lewis.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Say toenails, which means put
Right.
your feet on the toenails on the baseline. And you get most of your life lessons. You know, you talk about the game, you talk about preparation, you talk about school, you talk about everything in a short period of time. So I like to sit around and watch that, and to watch the young men engage into what the coaches are saying to them speaks volumes. You know, and for me, you know, I love to, you know, when we are able to watch the boys' games. You know, I will be honest and say I'm partial to, you know, TC Terrence Cobb. You know, having
Oh, he played with his dad,
he
yeah.
played with his dad.
Yeah.
You know, probably one of the hardest working guys that he had a motor, and you see that motor in his son. You know, in TC out there on the floor. You know, and we always talk. You know, myself and TC, I call him nephew, and when we talk, I say, hey man, just continue to, you know, play hard, and as a leader on that program, you know, if you had to say anything to him, have them match your energy. Because he brings it every night. You know, it might not, you know, be a shooting every night, even though he's found his touch, still ways away. But he has adapted to that orange and black mentality. You know, and I was quick to put a post up that when you put something on the other day that from PC to TC that he's orange and black. You know, from way back, and that's a, you know, testament to his mom and dad.
I like the. I'm friends with Clovis Gallen. He's the York High coach, and he loves Steve. Oh, that kid was tough. But I'd also like when the college coaches. I have some Facebook friends, and they'll make little comments, you know. So they, you know, they can. The recruiting when it comes to colleges is a little bit different these days. I know,
Yeah.
it's I mean the Facebook and the Twitter and stuff like that. But that's cool because social. I mean the Facebook. It's a compliment. You can give a kid a compliment. Doesn't mean you're going to try to recruit him to your college. Right. But it's really nice to see this kind of stuff. You know what I mean? So anyway, well, good luck tomorrow night.
Thank you.
Oh, well, let's talk about your schedule. Well, can you run down? Do you know who you're going to be playing the next couple of weeks?
Again, tomorrow, we're home against Penwood. Thursday, we're off to Academy Park. And then going into next week, we have a few home stints. We play Martin Luther King out of Philadelphia.
Philly Pub.
Mastery Charter out of Philadelphia. And it's not finalized yet. I want to say we just picked up a game today. We have to finalize it with our AD, Coach Bell, which I'll reach out to him afterwards. We finish off with Interborough at home and Chichester away. So
right.
we 6 games, left on the schedule, possibly a 7th. That would give us 21, where we wanted to complete the season with a 22.
Academy Park's undefeated in the league, so you want to knock them off. And where that game's going to be at?
The Academy Park game is away. It's at Academy Park. It should be fun. Both games, and it's funny how numbers play, a part in your success, whether you're up or down. We played Penwood on their floor. They beat me 46-43. We played AP on our floor. They beat me 46-49. AP and Penwood turned around and played each other. Penwood lost to AP 46-43. So those numbers have been floating.
Yeah, I saw that.
They've been floating, back and forth, and I pay attention to those things. But as I stated to the young ladies, we're going to be fine. And I tell them we make foul shots in any game. We're ahead of the game. So,
any interesting comments up here? I can't see him. I felt. You see anything? Did somebody say to move the microphone closer? Because I saw. Okay. You're getting a lot of love, I hope. Can you see anything there, Boo?
Shine's getting some love on there. I get to see Coach Shakira Showell. Shout out to Coach Shakira Showell. She gave her gym name up there.
There you go.
Curry Chicken. So, I'm going to let that go for those that have been reading it. But at the same time, I think our young ladies have really bought into the coaches that we have, because my coaches, who I love dearly and I wouldn't trade them in for the world, they know me and they got to know the young ladies real fast in terms of the expectations, whether it's their playing days to today. I believe they are the best suited candidates to help lead these young ladies through their high school careers.
You have a full-time job, non-basketball,
Absolutely.
obviously. So it's amazing what you do, because I watching the games, you and Keith. Keith works at the school, though,
Yes,
right?
We both are Chester Upland School District.
All right, but it's a full. It's just got to be. You have to have a patient wife. Can you talk about your wife?
I often say that we are committed to our jobs, and when we are coaching, it's not a job. When we're at work during the day, it can be stressful. It can be a lot of things, but we have a commitment to the kids in Chester Upland School District, coming through the high school. So we show a sense of passion to be there for them, and a lot of it is nurturing. A lot of it is being a positive role model in the school. I always like to say, male and female, most of the kids that we engage, they see us in the community, so they don't get to see us at work and then never see us leaving, or they will see us leaving to go off somewhere else. So they may see you at Chester Biddy, they may see you at the Boys and Girls Club, they may see you at the pizza shop. They can see you anywhere in the city, especially if it's summertime. They might see you at Memorial Park, whether I'm riding through or what have you. So it's not so much a job, it's what we love to do. And that was given to us from some of our mentors, and I'll say not just for myself and Keith Taylor, but all of the staff there at Chester High School. For the most part, we're Chester natives,
Right.
So it's different for us when we are engaged in the lives of the young folks that we talk to every day.
But your family you had to
my family is very receptive to what I like to do.
Yes.
And being around the sport and being a product of the environment. You know, they have been very supportive, with me and in terms of being able to do the things that I love to do. You know, yes, it is a task, and it's not just a 3-month, a year job. You know, we often talk about our off season and what we plan to do in the off season. So I do get to have my family time. I do get to do things I like to do, but we also understand that we as coaches, made a commitment to help the programs get better.
Look how calm
Yeah.
the girls are here.
Is it calm? Okay.
They seem so. They're not bored. They're probably.
I was going to say something.
They're
else.
probably listening to you because you're a very calming force.
Yeah, most of it. Yeah, I like to think I'm calm. I don't do too much yelling. Or
No.
Do I yell?
No.
Next question.
No, I'm messing with them.
Well, it's funny because the York Chester boys game was on TV out in York, and Dude Jones, I know one of the guys, the color guy, was that Keith Taylor, Coach Taylor, man, he's coaching like an old school coach, man.
Me and Keith talk often. Of course, that's my best friend, growing up. But we talk often about today's student athletes. They are different. So you are teaching every day. You're coaching every day. We're not fortunate, and not just here at Chester, but you have to coach every second.
Yeah, I don't know how you do it, but any coach out there, it's amazing what you guys do.
And again, when you're doing something that you love, the work is going to be there. The drive is going to be there. The one thing we can't coach is heart. We can't teach it. You have to have it. You will get it. A lot of times it comes with your scars, and your tears and everything else. But at the end of the day, if you leave it on the floor, you'll be rewarded.
Well, I'm glad we can give you, CMP over here, Mr. Jean-Pierre Bryce, give you guys some exposure, man. It's
Shout
good.
out to CMP for allowing us to come in.
It is archived. You can link it and you can spread it around.
And again, definitely like to thank you for having the young ladies on, to have them gain this. And this is an experience as well, because being able to public speak, being able to talk about yourself or your teammates and your coaches or what have you, it's the atmosphere that we're looking to build. Yes, this is my second go-round. I don't think any of the young ladies knew me when I was there before.
That's hard to believe,
But
yeah.
At the same time, my first go-round, and again, shout out to Russ Warren, who...
Oh, my man. How's he doing?
He's doing well. I see him every weekend. He's actually helping Chester Biddy out as well. Come over and get the rep.
I've seen him in a while.
He was my entryway into coaching Chester High School girls basketball. I came on board to help him out as an assistant at the time when he had the Tanisha Caines, DeWanda Moseys, Kristen Myers, Danisha Salmons, that crew. When he had them, I came on board. Shakira Miller, Shakira Showells, came on board to help them out. And my primary responsibility was to help groom his point guard. At that time, it was Kristen Myers. She was a young sophomore. And that was my primary responsibility, to help her, navigate through high school as a point guard. And she made my job as an assistant coach very easy because she was very coachable.
Remember the old days of the Chester? We had the youth interlock. Wasn't that a great event?
Absolutely. Showcase program.
Dave Brown and
Yep.
the Pearsalls.
Pearsall, yep. Earl Pearsall, Darren Pearsall, and family, and group Shep Gardners.
Yep.
Has done a phenomenal job when they were involved in youth interlock.
Mike Bacon. He's still officiating?
He's still officiating.
Has he done any of your games?
Nah, we haven't had the pleasure of seeing him yet this year.
Oh, man. I say how great of a referee he is, and some of the Chester fans over there, he's horrible, man. You would think he'd give us all the calls being for Chester.
Nah. Mike Bacon is not just a phenomenal referee, he's a phenomenal man. Mentored a lot of us coming through. He's one of my, I like to use the term my old head, because I grew up under Mike Bacon, in the development in which we all grew up in. But as a basketball coach, as a basketball player, as a referee, he brought the same mentality. And, you know, I've never met a more humbled man in my life. I don't think I ever heard him yell.
No, he's a very charismatic official. I
yeah.
guess he's awesome. And a Mark Freeman Sr. I got that picture. Oh
Right.
my gosh, I can't believe that was a great event. Well, hopefully we can get more in the 7th Street courts now.
Yeah, with the
The
open-
bridge
the
is
7th
open
Street
or
bridge
something.
is open.
I've been hearing about
Yeah.
that. So I mean,
Hopefully things will open back up, and you know, these young ladies and folks behind them may get that experience of playing out there.
another key was some like the Central League teams you play, like the Pencrest. A lot of these girls are multi-sport athletes. They got more sports than Chester High does. I'd love to get maybe softball someday again. Field hockey's a great sport. I know we're talking about maybe a major complex.
Right. Talking with Coach Bell, that's always a goal to increase the sports and open up the young ladies and young men's eyes to other sports that they typically probably would not play. But these are some of the sports that, you know, when you talk about scholarships and opportunities, some of those other sports that you just named is where it's at. You know, I
Like
know-
here in Delco, lacrosse, that is unbelievable.
I was ready to make a lacrosse basketball comment. I learned that probably about 15 years ago, that there's such a connection with lacrosse and basketball. And it was an older man who kind of pulled my coattail to it. You know, it was an old teacher. He's one of the teachers that we had in high school years ago. I can't remember his name. But he asked me, could he come to my practices one day? And I was like, you want to come to my practice? He said, yeah, I coach lacrosse down in Delaware. And I'm like, what you want to come to my practice for? But in talking with him, he said, man, you know, you'd be surprised at the offense that they run. And he's like, flex offenses. And I'm like, okay. So, which made me start to watch lacrosse. And I'm seeing pick and rolls. I'm seeing all kinds of things that related on the basketball court. But in terms of the sport, he said, man, a lot of your athletes would do well in playing those lacrosses because of the connection, you get in some shape, you know, it's a lot that comes with it. You know, so again, in talking to Coach Bell, you know, one of his avenues was looking to engage in those other sports that we might not play, which would help us tremendously in terms of, let's say, league play, where you might offer those other sports, whereas though in the past we've lost schools that may have left our leagues because of the other sports that were in the other schools.
Right.
So, I mean,
Right.
but he is working hard behind the scenes.
I think Sun Valley, they left.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
Sun
Somebody
Valley, I
did
remember
leave,
that.
but you know, not only Coach Bell, he's engaged in his assistant AD, Miss Chanel Knox, with trying to increase the middle school sports. You know, and again, shout out to our middle school girls basketball team. They are playing well. We do go over, have been over to support them. You know, invited them to some of our practices, just trying to engage in the young ladies to want to get better and be around some positive role models who are older than them.
Lacrosse, though, you're allowed to smack. It's brutal. You've seen it, and it's amazing. These kids are, especially on the boys' lacrosse,
Right.
they're just hammering each other, and it's legal, and you got to maintain your composure.
Right.
You know. So anyway, and we have volleyball at Chester High.
Yes.
All right, so there's another sport. So, I mean, you know. But anyway, we could go on and on and on. Thanks, Coach Dukes. I really appreciate it.
No, thank you again, Dave Berman and Uncle P, you know, for inviting myself and the young ladies on over to, you know, be a guest on your show. You know, hope it's not our last time. Yeah, but again, you know, thank you for inviting us over and giving them the experience, you know, of a lifetime to be able to be a part.
Sounds good. Hey, it's not really it's not easy to get guests, to tell you the truth, you know, so it's great to have you on there, you know what I mean? All right, raise your hand once again. Number 4, Imani Dorsey, freshman. Thank you very much. Number 11, Shine Hall, junior. There she is, 15 points a game. And the rebounder, I love it, 13 a game. 13 Will Chamberlain's number. Of course, he was a rebounder also. Jamaya Muhammad, a 10th grader. Thank you again, Mr. Bryce. I'm Dave Berman, and you've been seeing and watching another edition of Delco Sports 360. And Coach Dukes, again, thank you very much. We'll see you next time.
You're welcome. Thanks for having us.
Thank you.